Arceus Gyarados has a very special place in my heart. It was a deck that I built myself and had a very large amount of success with online. Unfortunately, I was never able to bring any success in real life, but I was able to help bring it to the highest win rate deck in the Brilliant Stars format on Play.Limitless. After that, in the Astral Radiance format, it was still a viable deck, but not nearly as strong, and after Lost Origin came out, it soon fell into obscurity. And today, one final time before rotation, I wanted to give it a run and reminisce on old times. Hey guys, it's All Up Blitzel here, and I'm back with a very special video. It's one I wanted to do, and I know it's probably not going to be the most popular one, or going to get the most views or anything like that, but I don't really care. I just wanted to make this one because Arceus Gyarados, as I said in the intro, is probably my favorite deck of all time. It's very special to me because I had a lot of success with it online, and most importantly, I built it myself. Like, it was a completely All Up Blitzel original idea and creation, and it would be cool if I was making content then, but I wasn't, and it's crazy to think that was over a year ago now. Time flies. These last few years have just gone by so fast, but yeah, so I wanted to dust off the deck for the final time before rotation. I know Arceus and Gyarados, like the two main attackers, are not leaving, but Memory Capsule is a pretty huge loss, and I mean, the deck had already been on the decline anyway because it had Jolteon package that was so debilitating that Brilliant Stars meta really lost a lot of value, so yeah, I know, I mean, there could be cards printed in the future that returns it to relevancy, and I'll be the first person to play it if that does happen, but more likely than not, as we transition to EXs, I mean, Arceus is going to, the card pool that Arceus can accelerate to is only going to become thinner and thinner, and they'll have less options, so I think Arceus is probably going to not be as strong post-rotation, especially as we see more EXs get printed. I'm going to Fusion Mew this game, so they're off to quite a strong start, running a full bench already. As it's Old Cemetery, you don't always see that in Fusion Mew. Could be someone just playing the Battle Arena deck though. Do see that occasionally. So yeah, there's a Fusion Strike system for my opponent. Yeah, I just wanted to bring up this deck one final time. It was just one of my favorites, and what better way to do it than send it off with one long gameplay video where this could go really well or could go really poorly, but at least in one of these uncut gameplay videos that you just get to see all the highs and the lows, and hopefully we'll have some highlights for that final send-off. So Drapion can take out this Mew with the Fusion Energy. I'm not too afraid of getting knocked out back, and apparently my opponent wants to get out of there and move on, so off to a nice start. Yeah, I will have the list at the end of the video, so if you're watching the premiere live, stick around all the way through the end, and then I'll show you the list, and of course it'll be in the description below if you want to be a dirty cheater and not have to watch the whole video, but if you want to play it yourself, I don't know why you would, but by all means go ahead. So yeah, and then after this I'm gonna try to be live streaming. It should be shortly after this goes, after this premiere is concluded. Either I'll try to do it slightly after, might be a little later. I don't know. I should check my community tab. I'll keep you all posted. We're against a Crobat this time, which doesn't really tell us a whole lot. We do have in a solid hand all of our supporters, but we do get an attachment on Arceus, which is why I love this deck so much, because it was just so consistent, and we had that Jolteon back in the day, which just shut down those Inteleon decks. Past the peak plus Jolteon was basically a GG if you pulled it off against Arceus Inteleon going first. And then against Mew, it was definitely more of a tough matchup. We're into Rotom, and they just instant charge and pass. So I'm going to quick ball out this Judge, grab a Crobat V. I'm going to Escape Rope is really insane right now. We can Escape Rope and KO this Rotom. I think we probably just win this game. So I will quick ball out this Research and grab another Arceus V. And unfortunately, our rope is prized, so we cannot pull off the Wombo combo, but we still can Marnie them back and hopefully take this Crobat out. We find the Ultra Ball, so that will be a knockout on this Crobat. And my opponent missed attachment, so it's unlikely that Rotom V-Star does end up attacking us on the following turn, so we're still in a pretty good spot. We can Starbirth for a switch and a draw supporter. And then we can just take this knockout with the Trinity Nova and load up this backup Arceus. Alright. So, looking good, looking good. Yeah, so one nice byproduct of this is I get to play a lot more ladder than I usually do, so getting the ladder done. I know this month's rotation isn't necessarily the best, but this is the final versus ladder, I think, right? Or will there be one more before live? I guess there'll probably be one more, right? Yeah, that'd be kind of funny to do like a montage, like a short with like the completed final versus ladder. RIP PPDCGO, gone but never forgotten. So they get the Roxanne V-STAR. They discarded a ton of tools because that toolbox was very good to them. I guess we're playing a ton of tools. So there's a Diancie from my opponent. And I wonder if they think that the Diancie protects his Roxanne V-STAR. I'm gonna quick ball for a Lumineon, just gust and punch the Rotom, because yeah, it's just basics. So I wonder if my opponent thinks that it's that Roxanne V-STAR is protected, because I don't know, or maybe they're just sacking the Diancie. I'm just gonna gust up and punch with this Trinova. That's kind of weird. Is this a 2? Okay, my opponent is surprised. So we'll just stand out the Gyarados. Don't want to bench it though. Using Awkward Turn could be pretty nice as a follow-up to clear the Lumineon from play and knock out this Rotom V. My opponent is surprised and angry, but I guess that's what happens when you don't read your cards. And he is spamming me out emojis. Wow, dude, you proved that you're the bigger person, so I'm going to mute you. Haha. Spam emojis all you want. I don't know why people do that. Like, does it make them feel better about their inferiority? Like, I'm not like saying like, oh, I'm the greatest, but like I'm trying to say like, if you have to like spam emotes to like try to hurt people, then you're a pretty sad person. Like, you need to go seek some help. Like, if the way you get enjoyment is like quote unquote bullying someone with emojis in an online game, like, I mean, it doesn't bother me at all. Like, it might have bothered a younger me, but it's just kind of funny. Like, I don't feel like back in the day when you could type your own TCGO message, like before, I don't remember when exactly they instituted it, but you could type in any message that you wanted. It wouldn't just have to be it's an emoji or like one of those pre-canned messages. You could type literally whatever you wanted. So there'd be people like, I mean, of course I'm a stall control player. Like, I'd be playing control. I found at least people be like cursing me out. Like, it'd turn into symbols. But like they'd just be like spamming symbols and cursing me out. It'd be funny because like it would somewhat bother me because like as a younger person, like it just got me a little more. But today it doesn't. It's just kind of funny that how the game has evolved to. I think they ended up instituting the emojis and canned messages because too many people were being rude with the custom messages. And it was kind of like, yeah, one person or a few people ruined it for everybody. Like, there were more people who used it for good and had seriously nice conversations during games, but there's a few rotten people that messed everything up. And yeah, now we're back to the emoji thing, but I feel like, I mean, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I know I didn't play as much as I played today. It just a detached pass from my opponent, so I'm okay with Trinity charging and leaving my opponent's hand as B. So now we are in a pretty good position to take this Cramorant on next turn. My opponent can't find anything else, but they have a Colress, so we'll be getting someplace, it looks like. Sableye on the bench. Switch card back into Sableye. Why wouldn't you just attach Retreat? Oh well, they passed. So I'm just going to rope up that Cram, Evolve, and then Judge, and then try to find a new backup attacker to load up on. I can build up this other Arceus V, and then I don't need Starbirth. I don't really feel pressured at all with only 2 in the Lost Zone. Will be pretty insane for my opponent to build all the way up to 7 in just one turn, considering how weak their current board state is, and I just reduced them to 4 cards. So I'm feeling pretty good here. So another Sableye and a Scoop. So that was easy. Some quick scoops early on here. So far so good. Yeah, as you can see there I have so many tournament tickets, and live is just a couple weeks away, so I gotta use those up. So definitely drop by when I'm live tomorrow, and we will use some of those up. And maybe I haven't decided what exactly I'm going to do yet, but I thought it would be kind of cool to do those lives. I've already got most of my resources that I need for TCG Live, but if some of you guys in chat or things like that don't have enough packs yet to transfer, or just like some packs, I could just give those packs away from the tournament. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, definitely stay tuned for the live later today. So we're against Palkia. Let's say Palkia Vikavolt. So this is probably really bad for us because we can't really use our Gyarados at all, which is one of our best attackers in that Palkia matchup. It's gonna be really weird, I think. There's an Ultra Ball. Temple of Sinnoh does sort of slow them down because then they can't use that speed energy. So hopefully, lifting attachment also just feels horrible, and this is a painful research, but I can't really drop Lumineon because that's just such an easy prize. We have to discard our one of Roxanne, and our one of Melony, and our one of Switch, and one of our bosses. Like, nothing in this hand feels good to discard. Taking our opponent a bit to check their deck, but they finally decide to grab a Palkia. I hit the attachment, which is interesting. With Temple of Sinnoh down, I kind of could attach here. I'll just research it out, though. I probably should have attached it, but I'll just put the double turbo on and pass, because Temple means there's no difference between the energies that I've attached, and discarding Melony means putting water down. It doesn't matter, so I can't accelerate it later because I only play one Melony. There's a fleet-footed from my opponent. Soothing Heavy, nothing. So we have a pretty nice hand where we could go attach water, Pumpkaboo, Belt, Marnie, and my opponent can't move this Raikou. We can take the knockout. Yeah, my opponent's hand is rather weak, so I'm going to put the water on, Belt, Pumpkaboo, and then Marnie, and hopefully we can find an Incense or an Ultra Ball on the other side of this. And we find the raw VMAX. And taking up this Raikou means I feel okay about dropping Gyarados V. I don't need to Starbirth yet. I'm just going to take this knockout. Pump 3 energies onto that Gyarados. And we are not feeling so bad now. I definitely think that I didn't feel great about the opening, but I feel better now for sure. So my opponent is going to promote that Palkia V Star. And it'll be interesting to see what they can do. If they can Gust and KO... Oh, an Echoing Horn. That's not good. If they can Gust and KO that Gyarados V, I'm not feeling super great. But hopefully they just punch into those Arceus. That'd be best case scenario. But Quick Ball, that might find Lumineon because they already have used their Crobat. Yep, it does find Lumineon. So you have to imagine that's going to find Boss. And Boss to... Let's see. 80, 100, 120, 140... 160, 180, 200. So you could KO the Lumineon, but no, they chose to go for a Melony instead, and just going to hit into my Arceus, it appears. Interesting. I feel like attacking it into the Garrett, or gusting, killing the Lumineon, and like racing me would be the better way to go about things, but they just opt to punch me for 220. So evolve into the VMAX, and what I'm going to do, because my opponent bends out Lumineon, is I'm going to Starbirth for double boss. If my opponent doesn't disrupt my hand, I just win the game because I can Gust up Lumineon this turn, and then Gust up Crobat next turn, and then just win the game. So definitely pretty good for me. I'll put all these energies on the Lumineon because also Aqua Turn is a pretty nice play because it sets up a Palkia V to be knocked out back by a Gyarados. So drawing the Hyper Potion off the prize isn't bad because my opponent's going to be two-shotting me. So yeah, this is... I definitely was pretty scared of this matchup when I first saw it, but the game has definitely played into my favor, and that's pretty nice. So subspace well, no hand disruption, so we'll be able to take this one by gusting the Crobat. So the deck still has it a little bit. Like, I know we've been facing some fringe decks, haven't really hit a Lugia yet. We faced a Lost Box that brick, but it's still a solid deck. Like, it kind of has the typical Arceus dilemma where it's kind of a consistent deck. Like, you just don't do anything overly special right now. Like, what made it special before was that Jolteon, being able to shut down a lot of the meta. And I mean, that Jolteon obviously has basically zero value now with Inteleon basically being extinct. So it really lost a lot of its appeal in that way, and Gyarados was always sort of Get Angry was a huge appeal to the card. Max Tyrant and Hyper Beam were sort of just there, and while Max Tyrant was a nice way to carry those evolving Vs, it never really was the highlight of the card. And kind of the cool thing was Arceus played Memory Cap, you needed the Memory Capsule for the Jolteon, and Gyarados obviously has amazing synergy with Memory Capsule. You can just bind everything together with Arceus, and it worked out spectacularly. But as the Jolteon lost its value, then the Gyarados doesn't become like the card to play, because your Memory Capsule package becomes a lot less valuable, and then you are just sort of like, why would you play Gyarados when you could just play Duraludon or Flying Pikachu or something like that? And also the influx of Lightning and that Palkia meta and Astral really screwed things up. And also List of the Lost Origin, Rise of single prizers, and they weren't single prize like Inteleon decks, they were single prize other decks with at least like Cramorant and things like that we couldn't really trade into very well. So that's when we had to put this deck away. But it's like it still is like a consistent deck that can still do things, but it just, those things just aren't very strong anymore. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to Starburst for Rope and Double Turbo, and then punch into this Duraludon V once. And then I have the Lumineon to bail me out on the following turn. And hopefully my opponent is not going to have an easy way to move this Duraludon, or just have to evolve it. This matchup was always pretty good for us back in the day, because we can use Hyper Beam to discard their fighting energies and really put a strain on their resources. And then, of course, Get Angry does a huge amount of damage. That is very difficult for them to like Hyper Potion and Crystal Cave and heal back up. My opponent does put the Double Turbo on, so they likely have a Hyper Potion, which is basically worst case scenario, but there's an Ultra Ball, so they discard a Hyper Potion. That's sort of interesting. Grab the Arceus V-STAR. So, what does that mean? They Marnie. Okay, I'm alright with that. I don't really want to bench Lumineon. This hand is pretty good. There's a big Parasol on the Duraludon V. And then my opponent's going to Starbirth. So probably find a Hyper Potion and then VMAX if I were to guess. So, I don't know what they're doing, but there's a Rope, so they're going to go into Arceus. They already attached though. What are they doing? And then they play Temple of Sinnoh. That's not right. Now you're going to discard 2 energies. Oh no. My opponent definitely sequenced that poorly. Why did they Rope? Maybe they forgot that they attached? That play did not make much sense at all. Okay, well, I'm just going to Hyper Beam here. This feels really good. If even my opponent bounces the Stadium, I still need another one to take knockout, or to even need 2 attachments to be able to use that Trinity Nova. So my opponent did not play that very well at all. I think my opponent just was not keeping very good track of the board, and they played the Temple of Sinnoh in the wrong order. They didn't even think that. Oh, 2 Double Turbos, that's all their DTEs. My goodness. They have no hand now. Alright, well, we just Lumineon for boss and punch the Duraludon. And I think we're going to be alright. I know that my opponent, that Parasol will block will block that secondary effect of the Hyper Beam, but we'll just need 1 Water Energy or like a Switch or something to be able to Trinity Nova for not. Actually, Trinity Nova can't because of that Skyscraper ability. So we'll research, and we do not find a water, but we find a Memory Capsule, so we can punch with it, get in here for 440 damage. So that's awesome. Love to get angry. That was my favorite part of the deck. You know, I was like, Gus and Arceus V knock it out, my opponent would punch it back for 200, and I just would one-shot them right back with it to get angry. Like, that was peak Gyarados being that 4-prize carry in that Arceus mirror match. My opponent does find a Chorus, that being down all their Double Turbos means that even if they found a Raihan, they still couldn't attack us. So I think we should just be able to close out this game fairly easily. That Temple of Sinnoh is actually a huge hindrance to my opponent right now, because they can't attack with 2 turns. They need to actually find a Stadium counter too. So that's just, yeah, they definitely played that pretty poorly. The matchup is still pretty good for us, but my opponent played that incredibly badly. So I'll do a win streak at 6. Maybe this deck's still got it. Maybe we prematurely retired it. So we have hit some more fringe decks though, and have gotten lucky with our opponent's play and draws, but that's all just other stuff. That's not the real stuff, you know? Okay. So we're going first again. We've gone first like every game. We're mulliganing Corviknight. Wow, we're just placing all the fringe up today. Like, welcome to PTCGO Ladder. So, yeah, this has been an experience already. We're just 20 minutes in. So, going to then hopefully find a basic here. Why are we showing Drapion so much? Oh my goodness, like where are Arceus? We went 4 Arceus and 1 Zigzagoon, 1 Drapion. We keep starting all our bad Pokemon. In a familiar scenario of no energy in opening hand, when we play 13, I'm gonna quick ball out the Temple of Sinnoh. It's like Crobat Bronzong. I haven't seen this deck in a minute. So Incense failed. Crobat for 4, and hopefully that gets us to an energy. It does. Great. All right. So now we're feeling fine. If we can like find Switch plus Belt and take a knockout on this Corviknight, I'm feeling really good. So we have that research, and then we have the Star Burst. We should be able to get most of it. We just need to draw one of energy Switch or Belt off of this research. There is a what's it called? Serena for 2. So an Ultra Ball. Out a Rope and an Incense. Finds that Bidoof. And there's a Clutch. So Clutch is a bit annoying, but we're going to be playing Switch anyway, so let's be researching out this hand. And we didn't hit any of the cards that we needed, so we're going to Starbirth for a Switch. And double Turbo. We can't Ultra Ball then for a Gyarados. So unfortunately cannot be able to take out this Corviknight. We still can punch it for 180. Ultra Ball out Judge and Research and Hyper Potion and grab a Gyarados V, and then we can pump these 3 energies to it. And we're still sitting alright. Like, you also get ahead of them damage wise by forcing those Cheryls awkwardly early, because like if you're playing Cheryl, you're not drawing more cards. I mean, you can with the barrel technically, but you're not going to be like playing a hard research for a ton of cards. So we are definitely feeling alright. So yeah, there is an attachment and a barrel, so you need like a Saucer or something to be able to attack this turn. I think like Bronzong, Saucer, Cheryl, then they are okay. They're just gonna Gust a Crobat and pass. Okay, so I'm just going to attach the water and research 3 Judges. See ya. Okay, then we just Belt and take knock on this Corviknight. We're fine with this. Ultra Ball, Lumineon, and Quick Ball, and grab another Gyarados V. Probably could have held the Lumineon honestly, and I got a Roxanne instead, but it's okay. We're against Corviknight, so I'll pump the energy to the Gyarados. Take 2 prizes. Lost in hand doesn't really chase this Corviknight, even if try to hide it on the bench. So that's pretty good for us. They put barrel for 2. They can use that Max Hurricane, but we'll be just getting knocked out right back. There's another Corviknight V. So my opponent has an Ultra Ball, Hyper Bronzong, Saucer, and Metal. And let's see, do they have any sort of draw splitters? They're sort of just living off the top deck and barrel. Metal Transfer, so I'm just going to Clutch, I guess? Or use Sky Hurricane or something? Yeah, just Clutch, okay. So because my opponent's hand is dead, I'm going to Gust and KO that barrel. Like, I know I could take the 3 prizes here, but I think I probably should have KO'd the Corviknight, like, looking back. Because if I take 3 prizes there, but was that my last boss? I think that play was still okay. Like, taking the Corviknight would have put a ton of pressure on my opponent, but also this does too. Like, they're basically living off the top deck, and it's going to be pretty hard for them to win just with drawing 1 card per turn. So I think both plays were alright. That Cheryl does mean. Okay, so my opponent's going to then just punch with this Corviknight Corviknight VMAX for 240. But that's only 10 short of a knockout. That's sort of been the issue with Corviknight, is even with Bell, like, its math is pretty bad. And we did see Corviknight with Perfect Arceus briefly, but never really got too far. It was okay for a little bit, but never was like top meta. So you can Ultra Ball, just thin out the deck, attach to the Zigzagoon, and just turn it over for 180. We have pivots across the board, so even if our opponent tries to stall with a Gust, we're still fine. So I don't know what they can do here. Like, they can go into the Corviknight V and take the knockout, but then I just knock them out right back with Gyarados, and there goes their energies. So they go into Corviknight V, Metal Transfer, so they're probably going to just Clutch for the knockout. A Serena. Oh, this is awkward. We've used all our switches up, and they're going to lock us from retreating. I don't think we lose, because eventually they're going to knock out this Crobat before we deck out, and we do have a Marnie left to to prolong our deck out. So we're just gonna draw past until they take this knockout. That was one kind of cool play that Corbat deck could do, because like against Whimsicott back in the day, Whimsicott didn't play. I don't think Whimsicott played a single switch card, so you just clutch their Bidoof or their barrel or something, and they could never move it, and then that's how you like set up your board. So it's a kind of funny matchup. Like also you could put like double turbo, and then you just like clutch them, and then they eventually deck out, and it's kind of funny. But so eventually this Crobat will go down. Marnie does give us more turns, so that's all right by me. They're definitely digging for a Cheryl to heal up that Corviknight. You have that boss's orders. We just can't move this Crobat, unfortunately. There's an Ordinary Rod, a Barrel and Bidoof. Quick Ball, you got him as last one to find a Bidoof. Yep, so I see another clutch, so just have to endure 2 more turns of this. Then we can move on with our lives. So does my opponent have a Cheryl, or are they just going to keep clutching? Hello? Do you have a Cheryl? Somebody says no. Okay. So, and they knock us out, and then we're free of suffering and can gust that Corviknight and win the game. Boss orders, they're still delaying it. They're going to gust our Zigzagoon and clutch it. So I'm just going to draw pass again, and hopefully we can gust that Corviknight and win the following turn, just like we drew it up. So, Mail transfer. So what are they going to do now? They're going to tie with Bronzong? That'd be funny. Full energy off the Corbat VMAX. And do they have a Cheryl? Or are they just going to clutch? Hello? Opponent, we don't have all day. I mean, I sort of do because I'm making an hour-long video, but... Okay, there's a Cheryl. What took so long? Either you play Cheryl or you don't. Probably was their top deck too, because I feel like they would have played that on a prior turn. So a metal transfer, and will it go into the Corviknight VMAX now? Probably. But with another only, yeah, I should have knocked out the Corviknight V instead of the VMAX instead of the barrel, because now I can just gust and win the game, and now I have like more painful win condition. I did not foresee them being able to use clutch for 5 years to be able to buy a lot of time. So I'm just gonna punch with the Max Tyrant. I cannot use Hyper Beam to get out energy. That'd be kind of cool, but I can't because of that lustrous body ability. I do think Corviknight was like probably an underrated card last format, because like it could live a Giratina. It was immune to Star Requiem because of the ability. Or wait, no, it's not. Never mind. Because the ability is only effects of abilities done to it. But I was messing around with Arceus Espeon Corviknight last format, because like Espeon protects Star Requiem. You can't get one shot by the what's it called? The Lost Impact. And you could hopefully one shot back with Belt Zigzagoon. It was just too weak into Palkia. So yeah, that was kind of an issue. So we'll take a knockout on this Corviknight. Wait, why didn't I just gust and KO the VMAX? I don't know. That was interesting. I don't know why I didn't just gust there. I guess that was weird. Why did I do that? Oh well, I guess I wasn't just paying attention or something. That's weird. I'm sorry about that. We'll still be able to get the win here with the boss wire rope. But yeah, I just overlooked that. I guess I forgot that the Corviknight had damage on it, so that was silly me. But not gonna matter in this case. So I don't know what my opponent's got planned. I don't know how they maybe like double Hyper Potion or something. But yeah, they're gonna concede. It's a 7 in a row now. Let's go. We're gonna be able to. Too short of the 600 coins, so that's a bit unfortunate. We'll surely get 2 more points this video. We still got 30 minutes left, so call it a coin flip. Win again. We've won like almost all these coin flips. I think we only lost 1, and this hand is awesome. My goodness, this is about as best as I could ask for. I get the Gyarados down turn 1, get the double turbo attachment, have Gust and Judge in hand. And Goodra lead, that's not a very good matchup for us, I have to imagine. I've never played this matchup before, actually. Because I had long retired this deck by the time Goodra really rose to prevalence. So, probably not very good. I mean, you can get angry and still one-shot, so it's probably not actually too bad, I think about it some. So I'm going to VIP down double Comfey. Rope is very awkward. Not even a switching card. Maybe it's a misplay to drop Gyarados in that case. I think it's probably still alright, because I'd like to get it down and get it evolved before my opponent can move, but I have to always keep in mind that escape rope, making things awkward. Oh, there's rope again. Thank you, opponents. That's greatly appreciated. There's another Comfey, and we'll Flower select back 1 water energy, capture back for Cramorant, and I'll spit for 110. So it's alright. Probably put it as their ideal first turn. Ultra Ball is something. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Ultra Lumineon and Judge. Grab the Galarian Zigzagoon. Ping that Goodra. Choice Belt is in deck, so I can take out this Goodra V and make things very difficult on my opponents because I'll be very far ahead now. And they just concede. Wow, I don't think that game was over. I certainly had quite the big lead, so now I have to win streak of 8. This has gone much better than I expected. I expected like to hit some Lugias, even some Lost Boxes, and maybe go like, I don't know, 4-4 in this video and send Gyarados off into the sunset. But it's holding its own, so that's kind of makes me happy. That's, I think, impressive some. But we lost a coin flip finally. No, that's a good thing. But this hand doesn't. I mean, opener aside, like if I was going first, I think it would be a lot better. So I wouldn't be any pressure. My RC's going down. We're going to Mew, which makes it, I have to play this research. Like in an ideal world, going first, I could just quick bot a research, attach double turbo, and pass. And then I would have no worry of getting knocked out. But I have to worry about my Arceus getting gusted one shot. I have to be, Mew is one of the most lucky decks to bully those evolving Vs before you can get them moved up. And yeah, so this is not, I mean, it's okay. We have the Drapion. I have Temple of Sinnoh. We should be able to do alright in this matchup. Down 2 power tablets early is definitely great for us because I have a hard time reaching my Arceus now. Another VIP pass, down Mew and Genesect. Make trekking shoes. Don't see shoes much anymore in Mew. There's a double turbo. Pokestop. Genesect for 5. Man, they are setting up quite well. There's another shoe. It's like a whole stop shoe Mew. It's like, I don't like the original builds. Wow, the 3 tablets gone on the first turn of the game. It's gonna be tough for them to find knockouts. 3 shoes, my goodness. Like, Roxanne phone is just better than shoe. Like, just turn those shoes into phones, please. So, final Genesect. Pokestop, 3 items, my goodness. Well, that was fortunate. So there's a belt and a pass. Okay. Another energy is not what we wanted to see. So we will then grab the Arceus. I need to find another one though. Like, that's what's awkward about this. So then research. And we have to, I don't like this very much. Right, to Ultra Ball. Like, I don't want to use this Ultra Ball because I like to save it for Arceus V-Star, but I have to get another Arceus V because my opponent's going to take a knockout after this. So yeah, this is not great for us. Going second into Mew is always sort of a tough scenario. We sort of had to hope that path slowed them down some, but this is not playing path anymore. We don't have that luxury yet. I'm trying to run that Temple of Sinnoh to hopefully slow down that Lugia some, but I haven't hit any Lugia yet. Oddly enough, it seems like when I'm not recording, I just face straight Lugia, and then when I am recording, I face none of it, or just Lugia that breaks out, or I break out or something. Like, it's kind of funny. So of course, get my Arceus cross switchered up. Quick bought a lost so my opponent's committed a lot of stadiums, so if a Temple of Sinnoh can stick, then I'd definitely be great if I could go like Drapion Temple of Sinnoh, take out a Mew, and considering how much tablets and belt they spent early, it might be tough for them to respond back to this Drapion if I can get Temple of Sinnoh down. So a belt is not anything useful. Put the water on. Research, we need a switch. Now how about no? So I'm going to do quick ball out Arceus. I have to bench Crobat, which feels so bad. We'll bench the Gyarados. Crobat for 2. Please Ultra Ball Arceus. How about no? Okay. Well, the last resort Pokestop. We find the Arceus V STAR. It would have been funny if we would have found the incense, but we would have milled the Arceus V STAR. I would have just cried. So we can get Temple and Switch. And I had to expend a lot more resources than I wanted to, but I think we'll ping the Crobat. We got there at least. So take out that Mew VMAX. Our opponent is going to have to find a couple cards to take this knockout. Their hand is massive though. So. Boss Soldiers is a pretty interesting find. I feel like Boss on Genocide back-to-back turns. Yeah, of course, have the immediate Pokestop. So there's an Oricorio. Chromatic. Heads, just one of those games for us where nothing seems to break our way. So, yeah, of course, we have our last tablet. Dang it. Yeah, this one's going to be tough to win. Because they take out this Drapion and a Roxanne. My goodness, I can just not buy a break this game. So yeah, I mean, Ultra Ball's alright, Melony's alright, but I can't take this knockout. One thing is cool is that they don't have a Mew VMAX on the bench to pivot back into, so it might be tough for them to chain attacks. Already down to cross switchers, so maybe like one surprise, and we can hopefully just attack back to back. So I will do our energies, but I don't want. I want them to accelerate to the Gyarados. Okay, we still have 4 in back though, so we can accelerate to the Gyarados V, potentially load it for Hyper Beam play. So if my opponent does not have it, I do. They can't Psychic Leap, so if they don't have a Gust and a Switch, then we can win this one. So there's immediate retreat. So do they have the cross switchers? I feel like you just have slowed them down by now, but then again, it could just be a troll. You never know. It's the BGJ ladder. There's all kinds of interesting folk that they Pokestop. That's kind of a good sign. They got a Silene and Boss. That's really good for us. Quick Ball is not going to be adding too much value to their current board state, so maybe they just don't have it. It's a Palpad. They can put a Silene back, which would be pretty annoying. They like Silene and get another double turbo or a treat or something, or get a couple cross switchers, maybe for one surprise. They're playing Hyper Potion though. Oh my goodness, we haven't seen that in Mew in a long time. Now I can't take this knockout because of Oricorio. Even like I could normally use Max Tyrant and one shot that Mew, but that minus 20 from the Oricorio is I'm only hitting 220. So I'm gonna, assuming that we live here, which is a big if. I'm gonna Gust that Mew VMAX and use Hyper Beam, and just hope that they don't have another double turbo. It's kind of a cringe play, but what are her options at this point? So yeah, I mean, if the last double turbo is prized, they Silene for double tails. That's what it boils down to. Oh, they switch and attack. They're making things easier for us. This is so wrong. Once they don't have a boss left, but they Palpatted back one in. Yeah, this is so wrong. Just hold the switch and just boss next turn. Okay, now you just make my life a lot easier. Of course, you got rid of my Gyarados, but now you need a switch card and an energy instead of having everything in hand. So, alright, Ultra Ball is great. I can get rid of, I think just double capsule at this point. You don't really need a Memory Capsule. Like, Get Angry is never going to come into play at this point. We might need that Boss Orders. I want to judge my opponent back because I do have that Boss Order in hand. No, I want to hopefully break up that combo play and maybe force them to punch the Pokestop and nil their final energy or boss or something, which would be hilarious. We'll thin out the Lumineon and Hyper Beam and just hope for the best that they can't find Switch plus energy. Of course, they couldn't find it last turn, so maybe their prize cards are just rough, or maybe their hand was just bad. Who knows? So 5 cards in hand, so hopefully they don't have it. And considering how the last turn played out, I'm sort of doubting that they did have it. We have Lumineon to Gust up and take out this Mew, so if they don't have it, we win. Well, I said that last turn, and then they played Hyper Potion, so who really knows? So come on, opponent. It's not. They retreated to Genesect. This is familiar. And do they have anything else? Fusion System for 1. How about they can Pokestop and see basically their whole deck? There's the energy, darn. So they can Pokestop and see their whole deck now. So if they have it, there's 3 items again. 1 cross switcher. So is the other one in hand? And if it is, yeah, darn it. We battled back there. It was definitely awkward drawing early on. Without Path to the Peak, things can get pretty tough in this matchup. We weren't able to two-shot that final Mew. Like, maybe a second Drapion would be worth adding, but I'm opening it so much with just playing one Drapion. So there goes our win streak, unfortunately, but still have time. We can run it back. So we find another opponent. We're against Grimbeard Sucks, whatever that's supposed to mean. We're gonna call it a coin flip. Alright, everything's starting to fall apart here. Like, it was fun while it lasted, I guess. Yes, it was very fun while it lasted. Oh no. Well, yep, Gyarados, you just, yeah, all the gas has been expended. It's run on fumes now, and it's Urshifu. Why? No. Well, everything's coming crashing down. I mean, Temple of Sinnoh is a good card in this matchup, I suppose. Oh my goodness. Oh man. This game is funny. Alright, we attach the Arceus. Get Pumpkaboo to bump my own Temple, and let's just hope my opponent doesn't have anything. Yay! There's an Urshifu. I haven't seen Urshifu in a hot minute. And this has been quite the trip down memory lane. I've seen so many scuffed decks that I haven't faced in a long time, and this happens to be when I'm playing a deck that I was just like sort of playing for old time's sake. So they conceal cards a Rapid Strike energy, which is sort of peculiar. So I wonder if they think that Gale Thrust is gonna work. That'd be funny. Oh man, that laughed so hard. Quick ball out of boss orders, so they're not gonna boss up a. What are they gonna do? They grab Lumineon. They already discarded a research last turn. So what are they gonna grab? Brawling? Wait, they research again. Why you discarded the first turn? What? Opponent. I'm so confused. Why did you do that? It's ladder, man. I don't understand it sometimes. Why did you touch the water? I am losing IQ, I think. This is getting more painful. This is just like a cursed picture. Like, the more you look at it, the worse it gets. So, yeah, this is so funny. I could maybe get a Marnie, but I really want to. Yeah, I probably should have Marnie. Probably play a rope, because I burned my Switch early, so. Taking the Greninja instead, and then I can't even use Temple of Sinnoh this turn, because I need to train Nova. I do like evolving into the Gyarados VMAX. There'll be a bait, a punch from the Urshifu. Maybe I can get Henry to one-shot it, because I'm only getting 300 right now, but maybe we could build, if they can get, we have the incense to find the Star Birth. If they take a knockout and like ping 120 on our Gyarados, we could then just one-shot back, and then we'd be actually not too bad of a spot. This is a bucket. So there is the rapid flow. But the question is, like, do they belt to take the knock on the active? They're gonna gust up the bench guy and knock it out. So where will they put the other 120 though? Will they take out this Gyarados VMAX, or will they not take out the Gyarados VMAX, but just apply pressure to it? Or will they just hit into Arceus? They find an Inteleon V, which is interesting. They rapid flow. Okay, all according to plan. Now we find Memory Capsule, take the knockout, and then have Gust in the following turn to win. So, wow, this did not seem great at the beginning, but everything's coming together. So, Starbirth. No way! Both of our capsules are prized? No! I knew it seemed too good to be true. Oh, come on. I promoted the wrong guy. Because now... Oh, I mean, yeah, knowing... No. Yeah, knowing that, I should have promoted the other guy. I should have checked my prizes. Let this be a lesson to you. To check your prizes. Because if I check my prizes, I... Oh, man. Because if I check my prizes and know that those capsules are prized, I just go Arceus knockout Lumineon, and I hope we draw a capsule, which I did, and then take out the Urshifu after that. But nope, I didn't. So always punish. So we have to hope that this Temple of Sinnoh does work, which did not work out well the first time we tried it. But hey, here's to trying. So of course Temple of Sinnoh needs to stick. Seal Stone's not good. You're down 3? Are they down 2 or 3? Rapid Strike energies. They conceal cards 1, use 1 Rapid Flow, so they're only down 2. Of course, Tower Waters, come on. And the energy. Nothing is going right now. Darn it. Well, this is... I tried Roxanne turn 1. Yeah. Oh well, this is fun while it lasted, I suppose. Grab that Arceus to turn things out, and then the Lumineon for a Judge, and just gotta hope I just Judge them into a brick, I suppose. Find a quick ball so I can get us into a Crobat and can get us more cards. But I don't want to drop it right now. I'll just train over for 180. Thin those 3 energy out of the deck. Put them on the Gyarados V. And my opponent needs, they need quite a bit. Actually, now that I think about it, Switch. Oh my goodness, come on. You gotta be joking. That, Judge, come on, dude. Alright, well, Judge is gonna be filing for unemployment after this video. Man, that was not very nice, Judge. Judge did me dirty. Oh well. We'll try again here. These last few games have gone incredibly poorly. So we need to rebound. We got to close out this video on a high note here. So losing the quite once again. So yep, I knew it was too good to be true. It was merely a mirage. Oh well. I've had a great time making this video though. It's always a good time playing the old Gyarados. Amorous Lugia going second. Well, we got a Trinity charge to a Gyarados on the first turn. If we can't find that, the button in the top right corner is for us. My opponent is taking a while to choose their active Pokemon. So either I don't know. This will be interesting. Yeah, it's my first time ever playing Lugia with Arceus Gyarados. So. Lumineon opening, benching Manaphy, catching... Whoa, they have nothing. Okay. I take everything back about things going well for me, or not going well for me. So it's discard the Gyarados V EVS, which is kind of awkward. I'm gonna attach the water and Judge. I can't discard this Gyarados, my other one's prized. I don't really want a Temple here. Do I just pass? Yeah, I think I do. Cause like Temple, it doesn't do anything. Like even if they awkward turn, I don't care. I just want to be able to use Trinity Nova. Ooh, can I take this knockout on this Lugia? I would need Melony and Belt and energy. Alright. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna hold here. I'm gonna attach. Wait, why didn't I attach? James, what are you doing? Oh no. I should have attached. That was not very smart. But either way, I can get Melony. Is Belt in deck? I should have checked that earlier. But if I just get Belt, I knock out this Lugia and I should just win. So we get. Why didn't I grab Belt? What am I doing? Not even rewarding those people who stayed late into the premiere to watch this garbage. What am I doing? Oh, come on. Why? I should just... I don't even think I need a draw support there. Like, why just take this knockout? The game is over. What am I doing? I mean, either way, their hand's garbage, so I'm not punished by this, but... My goodness. Like, watching this back now, I don't know what I'm... Like, why I played the way I did. Okay, yeah, then I can scoop, so... It doesn't matter, but... It does not mean I played correctly. So... Alright. Come on. One more good game. Where I don't play like crap and my opponent draws well. One more. We got time. So we're going first, finally. Alright. Let's close this one out on a high note. Oh no, Drapion opening like the 5th time. Well, this hand's bad. It's Giratina though. It's just been like alright, 2 mulligans does not improve things. Ultra Ball does. Thank you. So Ultra Ball out. Temple of Sinnoh and Reezer. No, and Judge. We'll do Judge. I'll grab the Arceus, bench, attach, pass. I'm not playing rope because my hook could play a rope on me, and then I would look very foolish, and also I'm not. Well, I do consider like getting Marnie, so battle VIP for my opponent. This match was probably horrible. It's one of the reasons why I stopped playing this deck. Because your Giratina matchup was atrocious. Because you had just Requiem your Gyarados and impact your Arceuses, and you just have like Radiant Gardevoir and bad cards like that. So, also a boss is pretty interesting. Always love to like playing 2 of those, and love to see one of those go early. Also, one of the Giratinas, so probably have 2 V-Stars left. Nap back into the Comface. We have to imagine we're going to get spit into. Hopefully they don't have a rope, so they don't hit into our Arceus. So, Giratina V, so we can't even gust it up. So, do they have a retreat? They have Temple. Do they have anything to move into the Cram? Okay, they retreat, okay. So 110 into the Drapion is very bad for us, but we can Incense for the Arceus, Rope, and then we just need Double Turbo or Stadium Bump, or our Pumpkaboo specifically, because Temple of Sinnoh would show off our Double Turbos, which would be bad. Oh, we don't even need Stadium Bump, we just need a Double Turbo on the other side of this research. He's gonna ping. Okay, we can take this knockout. Come on. Oh, deck, why? That was disrespectful. Come on, man. I spent an hour of my day recording a video for you, Arceus Gyarados, and this is how you do me. Come on, I brought you out of the ash heaps to play you one final time, and you've just embarrassed me these last like 5 games. So come on, man, shape up. This is your final moment, and before you are just done, and this is how you choose to go out. Like, come on, man. Like, you can control your legacy, and this is how you do it. Alright. So we're going to get into the Gyarados VMAX. Our opponent did nothing, so that was certainly lucky. It's alright, we can drop. We can put the Double Turbo on and just take this knockout. I'm not going to counter the path to the peak, so my opponent cannot take out my Gyarados, or not evolve that Giratina on the bench and not take me out. I could Gust and KO that Giratina V, and then we're sitting pretty. But the question is, I mean, there's no way they miss Giratina. They have a 24 card deck. Already lost on 1. Like, surely they have one. So flower selecting. They already lost on 1 Sableye, which is pretty good for us because they definitely want to Sableye to clean up that Drapion on the bench, but they won't be able to do that. And they come out of the path to the peak. So they're digging, definitely having to find that V-Star, but why aren't they playing their Mirage Gates? Like, surely they have Mirage Gates, and I would thin out some energies from the deck, make it easy for them to find that V-Star. So definitely very confused, like, unless they prize like 3 gates or something, which would be something. It's interesting, like, why are you not playing your Mirage Gates, dude? Another flower selecting. I do not know what's happening. I apologize. Oh my. So, yeah, more flower selectings. Where are your Mirage Gates? No, Mirage Gate was not around. So, go into Zigzagoon, I suppose. I don't want to go back to my Gyarados because I can Requiem for the knockout. Don't want to go to the Gyarados V because then I'll be stuck. And Zigzagoon is easier to move. Like, even if they spit, I just gust up the Giratina and take it out. So this is fine. But into the Sableye. So they're gonna lost mine after all. So, wow. Switch. Attachment. 9 cards left in deck. No Mirage Gates, and they have like 20 cards in the loss. So I don't really know what's going on here. But I can KO this Giratina V, and that will probably be the game. Honestly, like, I don't really know how they come back from that. Like, I mean, the Thornton Lost Impact, I suppose, would be a solid response if they have that, even at their disposal. So there's 2 more prize cards, but I'll counter the Stadium, Starbirth, get attachment, the Double Turbo, and the Boss Orders. Double Turbo is a little better than Switch here, because Double Turbo can move this Zigzagoon, and I might need that other Switch later on, so. And the Temple of Sinnoh will remove the -20 from that Arceus, and we'll thin out the deck a little bit, in case a Roxanne is forthcoming. So we'll grab a Lumineon and then just take this knockout. And should be GG. I'll put the 2 energies. I'll put one of the Gyarados V and one of the VMAX. Should have this one. Draw all the VMAX off the prizes. So yeah, I think being down 3 bosses is a bit awkward, but should be okay. So a quick ball. So gotta imagine that finds Giratina. If they even play a third, sometimes you don't. A Manaphy. They're fitting up the deck then. Finally, we see a Radiant Greninja. That took a while. So I don't really know what's even happening at this point. Oh dear. So there's an Ordinary Rod. That's probably their last energy recovery. They may have 1 recycler left. But and why would why aren't you missing Giratina V? Now that rules out Thornton as a play. This game has me. I just don't really know what's going on. My opponent, like these last 2 games, my opponents have played. Maybe I played bad in that last game, and my opponent is just confusing me. Like that's a Mirage game finally. 30 years later. And there's a Roxanne, so hopefully our thinning pays off and we draw a nice hand. Nope. And we draw an energy, which we did not want to after we took it off the prizes. Manaphy does find its way into the Lost Zone, but so we're probably going to see a Lost Mine from my opponents, taking out the Zigzagoon and pinging the Gyarados VMAX, but they don't have a way to follow it up with the Giratina. Like that Greninja should have always been Giratina, because now after this Roxanne, they can then just go boss Requiem, take out the Giratina VMAX, and just win. VMAX, Gyarados VMAX, my apologies, and win the game. But they chose to grab Greninja, which gives them basically 0 value in the spot. Like Moonlight Shuriken's not a great attack. Your deck is so thin that Moonlight Shuriken's not going to, or like Conceal Cards is not going to be like significantly thinning out things. So I don't know why they chose this line. So yeah, Lost Mine coming down, taking out my Zigzagoon, pinging the Gyarados, just like we called. But yeah, we just take this knockout. Melony's not exactly a useful top deck, but we'll attach to the Gyarados. Take this knockout, and now it's 1 prize away. Should be 1 turn away. Yeah, this has been quite the experience, but it's just about over, unfortunately. So we see a Giratina, a Comfey, Flash Select, so I don't really know, like, what do my opponents do? They like throw Giratina in the active spot and hope I can't one-shot it, which I can, so yeah, I don't really know. Lost Swords up a Gyarados, so stalling is their win condition, I guess. Yep, they hope I don't have an energy, which is plausible, but I've saved that switch. I just need a double turbo. I'll Ultra Ball out to Melony and Ultra Ball. Grab that Crobat, and we have plenty of outs in deck. And there's a switch, so that will be GG. And we got there, and that's all, folks. That has been Arceus Gyarados. So thank you guys for watching. That is the list. Like I can promise, I'm a man of my word. It's definitely changed pretty significantly since that first list that I ever used. The Barrel and the Jolteons are gone, like I mentioned. Temple of Sinnoh has come in to hopefully give us a chance against Lugia. Lots of hand disruption to hopefully have a chance against Lost Box. Hyper Potion was sort of like a screw it 60th card. So hopefully you have a little bit of healing against that Lost Box matchup. Didn't end up facing a whole lot of that during this video, so that could be like secondary beyond, or like another disruption supporter. It could be I don't know, it could be another Marnie, could be another boss, something like that if you wanted to play this deck yourself for some reason, which I don't know why you would. It's not the most competitive deck ever, but I just wanted to play it one final time because it's a very special deck to me. So if you made it this far into the video premiere, you are an absolute legend, so thank you for watching, and please consider subscribing because I do upload daily content like this every single day. So and shortly after this, I will be live streaming some PCGO, so come over. I'll probably give some stuff away on PCGO, so I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see you in the live.